I guess we'll start with the cough.
Yeah, I was like, there you go. Welcome to Who Cares?
That's the teach knocking up a lung.
As soon as I press record, that's funny. Well, all right. So here we go. Episode 22, week whatever. Yeah, so...
Of the hostage situation.
Right. We are now entering hour 5,422. So welcome back. Thank you guys for listening as usual. Got not a lot of stories, but there quite a weird bit of things happened the last time we spoke. So first I just want to get into this because I think it's fucking hilarious. The superintendent, the pooper. So
Mrs. Teach told me about it. I didn't read anything on it.
Really?
Actually, I confused it with when she first brought it up. I thought it was about the pooper, the public pooper that we've talked about the show before.
Oh, yeah.
So when she initially was like, "Did you hear about the guy shitting in the football field?" I was like, "Oh, I think yeah," but it wasn't. It was
this was somebody totally different. So I can't remember what state it happened in, but so there were on this football field, they were finding human feces, human fecal matter.
Also, how do they know?
You could tell the difference between a
My
human
dog
turd and
shits on the pad, and I'm like, yeah, I could see that looking like a human piece of shit.
I don't know. Well, don't know. But they were like, hey, this is like human shit on this football field. What the hell?
Yeah.
So apparently this was just happening so often that the school finally was like, all right, yeah, we got to put cameras to try to find who's taking dumps on our football field. Turns out it was the fucking superintendent of the school district just popping a squat on the fucking field. So they caught him, brown-handed and fucking and they got busted for taking shits on his school's football field. It's so
a superintendent is above the principal, and they have like different schools under them.
The superintendent is like in charge of the district. Yeah.
So have they come out with why or anything? Or
I haven't read why. I've just seen his mugshot where he's just.
Oh really? I haven't even seen it.
Like, man, I'm telling you, that's embarrassing.
But I'm wondering if he has something to do with like his principal or something, or maybe like the coach. Like he had some.
Watch this be like some weird like bro kind of like bro dare thing. And he goes, "Son of a bitch!"
All the other superintendents in the city are like, "You won't do it."
Yeah, no balls. You won't. All right,
man, that "you won't" has got me in so much shit.
Dude, for real.
Years. Like, oh, yes, I will.
No balls. That was the one that always got me. No balls. You won't do it. No balls. I'm like, well, I do have balls. Jumps off the roof. Like, all right.
Mine was always, you won't. You won't. I'm like, bitch, I'll show you. Oh, the fuck I will.
Man, I'm telling you, that's something with guys, man. Guys just...
Yeah, it's easily... that's why women live longer.
Yeah.
So I see it now. You have the weirdest tan going on. Like.
So I want to take off my shirt real quick here.
And your arms... Like, what the fuck?
So, I want to tell you this.
Where does this come? Where does that patch come from right there?
I have no idea, bro.
Like, if you had, like, a tank top on, it's right there white, like a farmer's tan, but red and red, but it's like... I mean, it almost looks like an allergic reaction.
Yeah, it does, right?
A little bit. Have you been taking anything?
No. So it was like, this is just how.
But you went Sunday. You went to like this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, so Saturday we went out to Canyon Lake.
Were you shirtless?
Yeah, I was shirtless in the water.
So it wasn't a tank. Okay.
Yeah, I wore a tank top till we got up to the lake, and then I took the tank top when we got out of the car, and I was out in the sun. So here's my thing about sunscreen.
I don't believe in it.
I wore sunscreen. I wore a lot of sunscreen because Leslie wouldn't let me play without wearing sunscreen. She wouldn't let me play with my friends until I wore sunscreen.
Sure.
So, anytime I wear sunscreen, I get sunburnt, like,
Maybe
to
you're
all
allergic
hell.
to it.
I don't know.
This looks like... That right there looks like... I'm allergic to amoxicillin. I found out when I was real little. Not real little, but I was, like, in middle school. And it looked like that on my arm, like, where it... Like, this doesn't make sense. Why is this not red right here?
So, I'll tell you. So, the spots that I'm not red in are the spots that I didn't put sunscreen on.
You don't know how to put sunscreen on?
Leslie's the one that put it on me.
That's your front though. You do that part.
I don't, because I don't like wearing sunscreen. So Leslie's the one that puts it on me.
Do y'all use a spray or a cream?
It was actual
Cream.
lotion.
Yeah.
Or in the bottle or whatever.
Sure.
So the last time that I wore sunscreen is when I went to River City Rock Fest, and I put on sunscreen and I got burnt the fuck up. But we were in Vegas, for out in the sun all day long, and I was wearing, loose fitting clothes and stuff. No sunscreen, didn't get a single burn, darkness, nothing. I worked at SeaWorld for many years where I was in the hot sun, no suntan lotion, no cream, no nothing. Didn't get dark, didn't get burnt, nothing. Yeah,
you were in the hut though, right, for the concession? No,
that was my second year.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Unless you're allergic to it.
I have no idea.
If you were
I don't think it's allergic.
Does that hurt? Does it burn? Does it feel hot?
It felt hot the first day.
Okay.
It felt hot that Sunday. But then that was just, it's starting to slowly peel.
Yeah. Oh, it's peeling then. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it don't look very peely either.
Well, I just put on a bunch of aloe vera right now, too.
Oh. That's funny. I just never seen it.
It's stupid.
But now that you say that, it does look like you just put lotion on wrong. But even then, sometimes you see finger stripes. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing it all wet, like it's like just like
yeah. So it's like anywhere I put sunscreen on, I get burnt. Anytime I don't wear sunscreen, nothing happens.
Also, there's a difference from sunscreen and sunblock.
I know that.
You probably should try sunblock.
I just don't wear nothing.
I don't know. You should wear something because even if you don't get dark or burn without it, you could still get melanoma.
Yeah.
So it drastically reduces your chances.
Whatever takes me off this world faster, man.
Smart. Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah, but I don't know. So thanks, babe, for ruining this. Right. Thanks, Obama. So I got burnt, and I hate wearing any type of lotion or anything. So I'm like, fuck. So this is just useless. But so that was fun. My feet are all fucked up. I got super drunk in the water, and I have a bunch of little mini cuts on my feet. I nearly broke my toenail off hitting a rock.
Ugh.
So nobody told me to wear water shoes or bring shoes that I could wear in the water, because even though I knew it was a lake, I was still anticipating it's Canyon Lake.
Oh, okay.
I was still anticipating sand in the water, not rocks. I don't know why.
Okay.
Because I've never been to a lake or a river before.
Really?
I've only been to the beach, but I haven't been to the beach since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be cool. So I went in fucking chonkless first, all...
Oh, we had chunkless.
My slides. No, I have them, but it's they slipped off my feet when I got into the water.
You gotta walk.
What the fuck?
I know that you have to wear water shoes to the lake, and yet I always just either don't or I forget. I know better, but I'm just I'll be okay. And then fuck, why don't I just get a fucking pair of water?
And the thing is, and Leslie even told me too, she goes, well, I saw we had water shoes for you in the closet from when we went to Schlitterbahn, or I went to Splashdown, whatever that one was in New Braunfels. And she's all but I didn't think about it. And I was like, well, thanks, babe.
No,
I was it's so hopefully we can go back. That was really fun. We got to go to the military side. One of the guys that went, he works at Lackland, so he has access to the military side. We had a whole section of the lake to ourselves, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was beautiful.
Was it cold?
Oh, the water was fucking freezing, man. Yeah. Because it was kind of cool in the morning. It was really cool and windy.
It hasn't been too hot for too long for
exactly.
things to heat up.
And then but that brings me to the thing about guys competing with each other, is because my friend Jesus, he was skipping rocks, and I was like, I could do that shit. And then it went to
watch me do it.
Right. It turned from skipping rocks to see who could throw rocks the farthest, and then it was just yeah. And the girls were like, all right, that's enough, guys. And we're all, man, fuck you. I threw it the furthest. No, you threw it at an angle. That doesn't count.
The wave took it.
Right? The water rippled. The ripple from my rock moved yours further. Right. That's not fair. Me and him are like that. We turn into little kids when we compete. It's... and then girls
I've always detested that type of relationship with other guys. And because I don't like competing. I'm not a competitive dude, so it'll skipping rocks or something. It's hey, check this out. Yeah, I could do it too. Then it's well, I could do it better. I'm oh, okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I never get into. I guess I'm kind of boring sometimes, so I don't play video games either. Because I'm they're like, oh, I'm gonna whoop you. I'm like, okay, like, I'll do my best. And like, yeah, fucking do it again. I'm like, no, I lose all the time. So I'm like, I don't want to play anymore.
I'm gonna do my best.
Like, yeah, exactly. And they're like, well, that's no fun, Vinny. Get the fuck out of here. Like, oh, shit. My head's not here.
You're good. Yeah, but no, I get you. Because, yeah, video games, like, I like playing online with other people because it's like, I can talk shit, but it's like, I have a bunch of friends that are, like, so good at video games that, like, trying to play one-on-one with them is just like, fuck, forget it. I don't want to play with you anymore. I'm like, oh, my God. But if it's, like, a physical sport, like basketball, like football, anything like that, then, yeah, I'll get really competitive. And Jesus, my friend, he brings it out in me, man. Like, because we play ping pong every single day, and we like we get into it, and we're like, fuck you, bitch, let's serve. And, oh yeah, I meant to do that. Like, if we fuck up, it's like, I feel bad for you. There's a point. Like, we get all stupid like that, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah. I'm the only thing I'm like the pool. I like to play pool, but even when I'm usually pretty good at pool, and unless I meet someone, usually like older guys are just better at pool than me because they've been playing longer.
Right.
But usually with my friends at least people that I know who can play pool, I'm usually a little bit better at them, but I don't ever feel the need to like gloat about it. Like, or I'm not like, yeah, sit down, little bitch, and let me. I'm like, I'm like, so look, this is how I did it. Like, you can. I'm always trying to like help them out, like teach them like how you can shoot better or something. Like, I don't know. That's the.
Well, let's go play pool, man.
We should. I know. I missed that last.
I was like, I love playing pool. It's like, you know, and I don't have a lot of people that even know what pool is.
I love pool.
Or when I say billiards, what's that?
Yeah,
like,
billiards.
I was like, it's billiards.
Yeah.
It's on ESPN2, you dumbass.
Yeah, the Ocho.
The Ocho. Fucking A, Cotton. Fucking A.
Yeah, we should. I used to, a buddy of mine used to like to play pool, and I think like on Mondays or something, you know, it's like $5 for the night. Mm-hmm. And so we used to, for a good stretch there, we would go every Monday and just have a few drinks and play in a couple hours. And then our schedules changed. We were both working weird jobs. We're like, we think we had Mondays off and it worked, and then whatever changed and haven't done it. So, you know, that's a Monday thing. We could also just do it on the weekends too.
Of course. So there was a place, so I did Lyft last Friday. And I picked up this guy kind of off Bandera. It's kind of like, I don't know the name of the streets, but I know how to get there. Because I remember I was like, it's some little hole-in-the-wall pool hall. Uh-huh. And the guy came in my car and I was like, hey, do they have a lot of pool tables there? He goes, yeah. And the bar, it was like 10 o'clock and the parking lot was super empty.
Is it Eclipse?
No.
On Eckerd?
No. And so it's all the way down Bandera. Like it's
1604?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Not right at the 1604 mark, but it's like a little bit before. And then like you take a left and then you go down all these side roads, and then it's even like side roads. So it's like it looks like it was built in the 70s. Like it's some old place.
So it's not right off of Bandera.
No. So I was like, how much is it to play pool? He goes, oh, it's $5 for the whole night. And I was like, oh. Because Fast Eddie's was $7.
Mm-hmm. And that's only on certain nights.
Exactly. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, are the drinks good? And he goes, yeah, they have a full bar. And he goes, and they're pretty cheap drinks in there. And he goes, but of course it could add up. And I was like, well, yeah, no shit.
I wonder if, yeah. Well,
and I know it has a pink neon sign in the front. It just says pool.
Well, we need to check it out then. Right. I should check it out.
Yes.
You already checked it out.
Let's do it. Well, I just went up front, but... But yeah, I'm down. Pool. If you guys want to play pool with us, let us know. Because I'm okay. Because my dad had a pool table in the garage, and he taught us how to play, and then just playing me, him, my brother. Even my mom, too. My mom was pretty good at pool.
My mom's you know, and she gets competitive with me.
Really?
Oh, she's like... Well, because she's always beating me, usually. And I always take it in stride because I'm just like, you've been playing for fucking eons. So.
Eons?
That's my little dig at my mom. But I've beaten her a few times now, you know, now that I'm older. And so every time we play, it's like a do or die for her where she has to, like, you know, I'm like, whatever. Like, either way, I win because, like, you won, Mom, good for you. Or, I mean, I'm just better than you. So I want to.
The student becomes the teacher.
Well, in South Dakota and Rapid City, there was nothing to do, right? It's always my joke is that all you do is smoke, drink, and have sex. But pool halls, there was a lot of pool halls over there, so we all, like, everyone in high school went to the pool hall. Like, that was the thing to do. That's where you can hang out, you know, buy a pop, play and they always had cool music on the jukebox, actually, like current hip hop and stuff too. So when I came down here, pool's not really as popular, especially amongst high school kids, I feel like.
Yeah,
when I
no,
was in high
it's,
school.
yeah.
But my grandfather, he used to own a pool hall back in the day, and he had a pool table too in the garage, and my grandfather's like grandmaster kung fu pool guy. Like, he plays like 3 moves ahead. Like, you know, he'll get mad. Like, he always wins, and the only time you see him get mad, because he doesn't lose, the only time he gets mad is that he didn't set his ball up for the 3rd move he's planning to make. Like, it's a little farther, so that ruined his 3rd move ahead. Like, you know, like,
right.
Fuck out of here, grandpa. Like, just play. Just fucking...
Well, man, what I was trying to do was
right. So
and I nicked it on the break, you know.
And you can tell a good pool player by power shooting is not good pool playing. So like anyone that's like wham, like you know, and like you know, it's very satisfying to see the ball hit and go in like that, but it's not really good to play because you have no control of where the ball lands after. So really good pool players, you'll see them just tap it, you know, just barely like. Or if they want the ball to move, though, it's like, you know, it doesn't go all hitting rails everywhere after the fact. Yeah, and they're just like, okay, what next?
Have you ever seen the movie Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley? Such a good movie, but
it's a great movie.
The scene where she first comes out and she breaks it and
all of them. Yeah.
I was like, man, I want to play like that. I want to play like the devil.
There's a way to do that, too.
Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't doubt it. And like watching the guys play like on ESPN with the gloves and everything. They have the little chalk pocket clip. You know?
You know, also, you're not supposed to twist it. You're supposed to slide it.
It's just so fun to go.
Yeah, that's what you always see.
You just make that little hole deeper and deeper in the chalk.
Right.
You're like, oh, fucking puncture this shit.
Because, you know, it still makes rings. It's not supposed to. That doesn't help for that shooting. So that movie was funny, though. The devil Jimmy for a cheeseburger when he's telling the priest.
Your first wish was McDonald's.
Yeah.
I thought you were showing off your powers.
Mighty devil.
I watched that because I have Vudu and it was on sale for like $3, so I bought it. And I was like, babe, this is a romantic comedy. I was like, I think you'll really enjoy it because I'm not a big rom-com
Is it a romantic guy?
Yeah, I mean it has a love plot to it because he's trying to win the heart
like
of that
a
girl.
helpless romantic. Yeah.
So I was like, this movie's really silly. It's like early 2000s, late 90s. It's when Brendan Fraser was on top of his game.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, let's watch it. She's like, okay. She didn't crack a smile the whole movie. She thought it was dumb. She goes,
it's nostalgic, you know.
I think I was cracking up harder now than I was back then because I understood more of the jokes.
Well, but it still has a nostalgic. I don't know. I look at a lot of things in the early 2000s, late 90s, where it's like, it was really, a lot of that shit is goofy as fuck and like corny. And I could see where people, if they hadn't been exposed to it at the time, you know, there are like great things that are just really good. You can't deny it. And there's these type of movies where it's like, oh, it was just like a cute movie I used to really like as a kid. And then you watch and you get it, so it's even more like now I really understand this movie that I've always liked. You know, but for someone coming in, it's just like, yeah, that's Brendan Fraser. That's a Brendan Fraser movie.
That's a Brendan Fraser movie.
It's like if you didn't watch Encino Man when it came out and you watch it now, it's fucking garbage. You know, but you like it because you grew up watching it, so.
Damn the devil to hell.
Damn the devil. Damn the devil to 999.
Duh.
777.
Duh.
Well, I want to play good. I think we play good.
Get 110%.
I think we played pretty good tonight. If you haven't seen the movie, we sound like idiots.
Oh my god, it's a great movie. Watch it. No, it's a great movie. I believe in that.
I don't fight with anyone that doesn't enjoy it, but it is a good movie. It's just a good movie.
Same thing. I have Starsky and Hutch on my Vudu, but I haven't seen that movie in ages.
The remake. Starsky and Hutch with
Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't consider that the new one though, because it came out back in it's almost like 15 years old.
Well, it's the remake though, because Starsky and Hutch was
a TV show.
Yeah, it was a TV show.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
I just didn't, because when he said new, I was like, I have the old one with Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller.
Well, because I know you have like affinity for older stuff too, right? So I wasn't sure if like you had maybe seen the old episodes.
I've seen.
I haven't, but I know that there's a distinction. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot too. Actually,
I haven't really watched it in a while, but yeah, let us know what are some of your favorite movies from the early 2000s, late 90s that were maybe awesome then, but maybe not be as good now, quality wise.
Spawn.
That one's still cool. Well, then it's an action movie, but I don't know.
Excuse the teacher real quick.
Right. Teacher's going to go ahead and get a drink. Yeah, so Teach just made himself a weak drink. Boo.
It's not weak. It's flat.
Boo.
And the reason why I'm going to choke down is that it'll still do the job.
It'll still do the job, right?
As like I was saying, it's not for the taste. You drink for the after effect. So.
Right. I was surprised this drink because for the lake we bought a bunch of booze and stuff.
That's bad,
man. So these were in the cooler when we were in the river.
Did you already finish it?
No, it's still.
Oh, okay.
It's still in there.
Is that all you brought?
No, I brought an Angry Orchard too.
Oh, okay.
Let me finish my story, pal.
Oh, go ahead. With alcohol, I'm focused on what your plan is, but okay.
Right. So I had one Angry Orchard and I had the Smirnoff left over because I thought I was going to finish all my Angry Orchards while we were out there because I bought the tall cans. Mm-hmm. So when we on the way home, they're not in a cooler or nothing, so they just got warm, and so I just put them in the fridge this morning, and I was like, man, these are going to taste bad. They may be flat when I open them, but I'm still going to drink them. But luckily, no, they still feel fine.
No, I don't, is that a thing? They go flat when they get hot?
Well, because they go from cold to hot, then back to cold. And it can mess with...
Does it?
It messes with soda.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I've drank enough soda, cold and hot, to know about that.
Well, I remember guys telling me back in the day where they were like if we had a cooler of beer one night, right, and then we left it out like the weekend or something, or a few days, and the next day it was like, oh, well, I still got the cooler, like no one put it away though. And I'm like, I'll just put it in the fridge, for tonight, and they'll be like, nah, fuck that, let's just buy a whole new beer. And I never understood that, because I was like, because they were like, oh, I'd rather just buy a whole new fucking case and drink that. So I guess that's why. But I've always done that, where I'll just put it in the fridge, like later. Mm-hmm. Like I got a cooler full of beer right now that's probably all sorts of hot. But I'm just going to put more ice in it next time I do something, and I don't think anyone will notice.
Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've just usually done like, it went from hot to cold, so I'm just like, no, it's probably not
I
good.
can see that.
So, because when I opened it, I didn't hear any type of psst or like any type of pressure, so I was like...
So the thing is, too, is that... Oh, but it isn't... So you didn't hear anything, but it still tastes fine.
It still tastes great,
yeah. So the thing is, like, it's sealed, is my thing. So, like, the carbonation... There's no way of it getting out there, so...
Yeah, but I just... Because of the can, like, compressing and stuff... I don't know.
But it would still be in there. I don't know.
Who cares? It still tastes good, so that's all that matters to me. But,
So this is pretty bad. So what happened was I made a drink, and I used 7-Up, Diet 7-Up, this time around. And the problem is that when I drink, I'll pour, like... Sometimes at the end of the night, I'll make a drink, but I don't finish the can. Mm-hmm. And I'm lazy, so I just leave it there. So today... I mistook the can I'm drinking out of, the fresh one, for the one from last night, and I just started. But right away, as soon as it hits.
Is that what you said? Wait, oh damn it!
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, fuck! I used the one because as soon as it's flat, it fizzes, and so when it just went straight in, it's like, fuck! This is the old. So this tastes like shit because flat Diet 7-Up is god awful.
Diet soda altogether is just.
Amen, but and then flat, it's even fucking worse. But you know what? In a pinch, sometimes I'll just use water, and that really fucking sucks. So
really,
so I just have to remember those times when I used to have to use because I've had back in the day where I'll have a bottle, but I can't even afford to go buy soda. So I'm just like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna have to mix
vodka water.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I know. My mother always says that's an alcoholic if you're mixing your vodka with water.
Hey, whatever gets the job done, right? I remember I've mixed vodka with Gatorade.
Oh yeah, I'll fuck with that.
It's like that tasted disgusting. I think maybe because I used the Glacier Frost.
I had to be really drunk to do that.
No, this was my first drink of the night. I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, I really want to drink, but I'm not mad enough to drink vodka straight up. So I was like, Gatorade vodka.
I wouldn't drink vodka straight. I would put water in it too, but Gatorade tastes more flat than flat soda when you mix it with alcohol,
Yeah.
But they say it gets you drunk quicker or better because they say it goes to your blood quicker. The electrolytes carry it to your blood quicker or something.
I just don't remember. Maybe I was playing video games because every night what I used to do was this is when we lived at the old apartment. I would get off of work because I would get off at 11. I would get home, eat dinner with Leslie. She would usually have leftovers ready for me, or I would pick something up for myself. Get home, then turn on the Xbox. I would play with Jay Frenzy, and he would always be getting drunk. And so I was like, I have these big old bottles of liquor left over from my 21st birthday, so I'd always mix drinks. So my go-to is either Sprite and vodka or orange juice and vodka.
Oh yeah, orange
And
juice.
then it's amazing. But then one night I was out of everything and I was broke, couldn't go to the store or nothing, and I was like, well, fuck, what do I got here? And I was like, well, here comes Glacier Frost and vodka.
Yeah.
So I drank it, but I don't remember how drunk I got off of it.
That one weekend I was in Austin, the last weekend I was in Austin, I went back to, which is we're all Buddhist friends, we're going for a program, but we were drinking during the celebration involved alcohol, and actually, we're not in trouble, but I heard the teacher lives here and I'm close with her. She's actually going to be the officiator for the wedding. She's going to perform the ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that's called. She was like, when she reported, it was the first program we had here, blah, 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 that. She goes, when I reported how it went, she was like, I reported that there was way too much alcohol. Because what happened was, what we were supposed to do is have this dinner, and it was supposed to be $10 a head for food and drinks. Like, so there should have been minimal drinks. But there's this one Sangha member who's filthy fucking rich. Like, filthy. Like, she owns some kind of website or something. Not like a porn website, but like something like old internet shit. Like, she got the getting when the getting was good back in the 90s. So she is well off. And I'm friends with her too. And she looks at me when they were talking, she goes, we should take care of the alcohol. And I was like when everyone's doing parts, because everyone's gonna like pick a part of what to do for this, she's like, you want to do the alcohol? I was like, fuck yeah, I want to do the alcohol. So she goes and buys $200 worth of alcohol, just out of her own pocket, just because
she had it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be $10 for food, and they should have gotten like a glass of wine, but tons of wine. So I mean, everyone was drinking. The center director of Austin was passed out drunk in one of the
Really?
rooms. Yes. We walked in on her, she was passed out drunk. So I was like, well, San Antonio's director doesn't act like that. But anyways, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, when we went back, so we, of course, me and this girl, we're drinkers, and her boyfriend is too, so we were like, oh, let's go get a few drinks. She's like, well, just come over. I have to wake up early, but we can still hang out. Oh, she knows Gatorade. Her kid's Gatorade. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll fuck with vodka and Gatorade. My thing is I can put it away because I'm like, well, in my head, I feel like Gatorade and vodka gets you drunk quicker, even though that's probably a myth. But so I'm just like, okay, I'll drink it. Like, better than water or like flat soda. I wish I would have just poured Gatorade in this shit.
Right. It's like, amen to that, brother.
I'll drink to it.
Man, drink.
By the end of this drink, I really won't give a shit. So
right, it'll taste all the same.
It
right?
all feels the same, so we're good.
Right. Speaking of feeling the same, so Kanye West.
I fucking hate Kanye West.
You hate Kanye West?
I hate him.
It's tough
like
to be
my
a Kanye
children
fan.
will not know his name.
His name will not be mentioned. He will be the one. He who shall not be named.
Yes.
So Kanye West got himself in a pickle yet again. But, and I'm going to talk about this because I'm a huge Kanye West fan for the musician.
Sure.
So every celebrity that I enjoy, that I like them for whatever they're famous for.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about them and their political, personal views. I don't give a fuck about them. Michael Vick, favorite quarterback, still one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks. Sucks that he did that whole dogfighting thing, but I'm like, hey, as long as he still performs with the Atlanta Falcons, fuck yeah. I don't give a fuck what he does in his free time. The people that beat their wives, yeah, you shouldn't beat your wife, but you're putting up yards in my fantasy football, so do what you need to do. Because who am I to judge other people? You know what I mean? So it's like, I wouldn't do it. They're not influencing me, but fuck, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. So Kanye West, great rapper, great musician, very groundbreaking, has a lot of experimental things. His past couple albums have been like, yeah, I can fuck with it.
His clothing line?
Oh, I don't buy his clothing line. I'm like, again, I like Kanye West, the musician.
Right.
His Yeezys, I'm sorry, if you like Yeezys, those things just look like loafers.
Oh
like
my God.
loafers with sponges on the bottom of them. They just look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's always known for running his mouth, the tabloids, the whole Taylor Swift thing, and just da-da-da-da. He has all this drama, and then, excuse me, and he's just really rude to tabloid people and photographers, paparazzi, da-da-da-da. So here lately, he's publicly announced or made his thoughts heard that he endorses Trump. So that was the first thing. And he's got seen wearing a Make America Great hat again. Da-da-da-da. Everybody, what? Oh my God, Kanye, no!
Yeah.
Kanye, why? And he's just like, hey, whatever. Like, we're all free-spirited. We can do whatever we want, think however we want. Okay, yeah, whatever. Then he goes on TMZ, just spatting out all this nonsense. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Such an idiot.
But the kicker...
Nobody likes Trump. They have like the same mind.
Yeah. So the kicker of this is that he says slavery was a choice. And I don't know it word for word, but he goes like, for 400 years, people were slaves for 400 years. Like it's a choice. No one's forcing you to do it. Something along those lines. And it's like, well,
if you look up the definition
right.
of slavery,
it's like
it's not really much choice in
so
there.
yeah, so that was very strange, Kanye.
Strange.
It was like that was what possessed him to say that. I'm not too sure.
You know what it is? I think the point he was pointing to and executed it horribly. And here's me because I'm very unbiased. I try to be unbiased with things. I imagine what he meant to say was that alluding to the fact that black people have had an influence of not being slaves now, or in that transition. The rights movement, civil rights movement. Words just come to me. So the civil rights movement was black led, and So I think he alluded to the fact that black people were being dormant at the time and not congregating as they should have been to get out of it sooner. Like he's saying, like they could have if they would have because it happened.
Right.
Which is not true, and it's not. I mean, it's true in the sense that but at the same time, it happened the way it happened because that's how long it took.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't, make anything quicker than as much time as you give it. So he's wrong, but I think that's what he meant to say. You know what I mean? And like in the same sense now, because there's a lot of divide within the black community too. I think I don't know. I'm not part of it, but of one side of the black community saying, we're still being oppressed in certain ways. They're not as dramatic as they were back in the 60s and before that, but there's still the sense of, I walk into a job and there's an automatic kind of, depending on who's interviewing me, going, yep, yes or no,
right.
Versus the white counterpart, it really is just an open, like, well, I gotta hear what he says. Right? So that's where the other side of the community is going, I've never had a problem. I've gotten every job I went to an interview for, so it obviously isn't real, which I don't believe on that side. I'm more on the other side, but you believe what you believe. So I think he's more on that side where he's saying like, look where he's at and look how far they've come and pointing to that fact. I think he's an idiot though.
Yeah. So this was something very interesting that I read on Twitter. Now, granted, I was like, yeah, this makes sense, but at the same time, it could be complete bullshit because it's a quote-unquote conspiracy theory. So, and I'm like, this makes sense because Kanye West has thought this way in the past. So I'm like, this could make sense, and a lot of it really supports this whole theory, which I'm like, because all of this is coming out before his new album. So I'm like,
Like he's just doing it for purpose.
He's doing a not a period piece.
A PR stunt?
No, not a PR stunt. This phrase got brought up a lot. He's doing a performance piece, a performance art piece.
For the sake of his new album?
For the sake of his new album. So here's the thing. So now this was a very long, and I don't like reading these types of threads on Twitter. I was like, this is my boy Kanye, so I had to read it. So it brought up that there's this producer, and I just know his first name, Tremaine. Or that could be his last name, I don't know. So this guy has started to get really close to Kanye West, and he's tweeted pictures of being in meetings with Kanye West and this and that, and he's a producer. He's a guy that's really big in the music game. So Kanye West tweeted something like having great energy around me and this and that, and this guy tweeted a picture of this big old meeting room with a bunch of music industry people and Kanye West, at this table all having fun and whatnot, right? So it's like, okay, so this guy's a producer. So when Kanye West first came back to Twitter, he tweeted 4 pictures. He tweeted 2 pictures of this one artist that was famous for taking like the spade, because apparently spade used to be a racist symbol back in the day. So there was this artist that took the spade and made it kind of his own, talking about like turning the racist perception on its head or whatever. And then he tweeted this other picture of this guy that did a performance piece, this other artist, where he locked himself in a room with the coyote for 3 days, or for either a week or 3 days, and talking about taming the spirit of America, because like the coyote represents the wild nature of America, of the country, and this and that. And by the end of that piece, he was friends with the coyote and was able to release it and everything like that. So when Kanye West came back to Twitter, he tweeted those 4 pictures: 2 of the guy about the spade, 2 of the guy the coyote. So piecing everything together, and then also too, that Tremaine guy kept talking about this is the prestige, and like was quoting Kanye West tweets talking about this is the prestige, put little emojis and like the spades and this and that. So it's kind of like and then Kanye West announces his album and like who he's producing and everything like that. So it's kind of like and this guy Tremaine kept quoting these tweets with spades, an emoji of a guy juggling, a guy in a cowboy hat, and some other emoji. So it was like, what's all this has to do? So this guy was kind of like thinking to himself, like this is what I'm thinking. This is what the guy said. The guy said this is all my opinion. And that Kanye West is doing something that's pushing the limits to make people think, why is he doing this? But he's going to have an explanation for it on his album. Because like the whole prestige thing has to do with magic tricks. Like the prestige is the hardest part of a magic trick. Because the first part, you show something.
Prestige is the end, isn't it?
Yeah. So the first part is where you show somebody something ordinary. Okay, here you see it. The second part is where you do the trick. And it's like, ooh, so now you're making people believe, wait, how did that happen? That doesn't make sense. They're trying to put logic to it. And then the third part is the hardest part, the prestige. The actual where you make them believe it is, what they saw happen. So they're saying that the first part is him coming back to Twitter. The second part is him endorsing Trump, supporting Trump, speaking, very out of the blue about slavery and black people and this and that, kind of, not having black people's back. And then the third part, the album, is what's going to sell, like this whole, like, explain everything and be like, oh, kind of have everybody do that, all right, okay, yeah, we buy it kind of thing. And it goes more in depth. Like a lot of it's really eluding me right now, because then they brought up how back when the whole Confederate flag thing was a big hot topic issue, Kanye West started wearing a lot of clothes with the Confederate flag on him. He was wearing jackets, t-shirts, hats, and he goes, "Look, it's only racist if you make it racist." He goes, "Yeah, I know what this represented back then, but I'm taking this flag back. Like now, this represents something to me personally, and it's not going to represent hate or racism to me." So it's kind of like with him wearing that Make America Great hat again, it's kind of him saying like, look, this is something I'm doing, and that's equivalent, because people see the MAGA hat, automatically think racist, hate, this and that. And Kanye West has talked about how you can't keep doing the same thing by saying, fuck you, I hate you, from black people to white people.
I heard that. Yeah.
White people to black people. And it's like, you can only make change through love and through positive reinforcement and this and that. And so they're saying maybe that's what he's doing with the MAGA hat again. He's making it his own because he really wants to make America great again through his music, which I was like, that's part of the stretch part. But it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. And he's an artist. I mean, he really thinks outside of the box a lot musically. So I can really see that being a performance piece that he's trying to do.
The problem with those tabloids, because some of them do come to fruition, but sometimes it's really lofty, and then
this was just one guy just typing on Twitter,
just a piece done. But like like on a show you watch or whatever, there's always from the first episode or in the middle of the season, someone will get on and go, "Hey, this looks like this, and I probably is going to be something like this." And you kind of go, "Yeah, that sounds right." And you're kind of waiting, then it never happens, right?
Right.
And either way, I'm not a Kanye fan, so I like avidly do not listen to his shit because I fucking hate him. I think he speaks total nonsense. I think he's just way too fucking into himself. I'll never forget the quote he's had where like, books are for people that want to sound smart or something like that. Oh God, I was like, what a fucking turd! Like. Who the fuck are you? Anyways, that's not...
He's Jesus, man.
I can't get into that.
I saw him in concert.
And then he would be in... I had a friend who was... They're my lesbian friends. They're very into Kanye West. I don't know about anymore, but they were. and they went and saw him in Austin or whatever, and they said that he fucking sucked because first of all he was already being like shitty to the crowd, like they didn't make enough noise for him in the beginning.
Do you know what tour was it on the? Do you know how roughly long ago it was? No?
2 years ago.
Because I know on the Yeezus tour he had a lot of problems with that tour, and that's the tour that I saw him on. But continue.
Well, it might have been. When he got on stage, he was mad at the crowd didn't make enough noise, so he like redid it, his entrance, and then he wore a mask the whole time, and he didn't. That's
part of the.
He never took it off.
That's part. Well, no, he does take it off because
in Austin.
I don't know about Austin because I know he walked out on a lot of shows because of the crowds. But when I saw him here in San Antonio, because the thing about the Yeezus tour was about him going through changes, and each part of the concert he would wear a different mask. He wore like a diamond one, then he wore like a solid gold one, then he wore one that was kind of like a veil type thing, and at the very end of the show is where he finally takes it off, and like now he's back to Kanye West. Like he went through a transformation through his music or whatever. So like, but he did walk out on a lot of concerts, and a lot of people were like, "He wore a stupid mask." And that's what happened in San Antonio because he was wearing a mask when he came out. Because I went to that show with my mom. And then my mom was like, who is, like, halfway through Kanye West, my mom was like, who is this guy? And I was like, it's Kanye West. And she goes, oh, I can't tell because the dude's wearing a mask. I was like, yeah, well, it's part of the show, Mom. You got to watch. Because, like, it would talk throughout the show. And it would talk about, like, now going through da-da-da-da. It's part of the performance. Like...
Well, I think it's a shit performance. So.
I thought it was awesome. I was like, this is very
but
creative.
You're more into music than I am, so I would viewers take David's word on it more than mine.
I was like, I love performance. I love the stage, the theater, the performing, the act of it all, and it's like...
Well, the thing is, for me, I'm all about symbolism, too. I love symbolism. That's why I'm all into this shit, too. Everything here is not...
Well, don't call it shit.
Yeah, I know, right? Whoops, my bad. Well, the thing is, you can't. None of this here is, like, real. None of it is, like, I don't believe this is, like, the Buddha here with me. Like, you know, like, this is not an altar. An altar is something that things happen. A shrine is something that it's an homage to a bigger idea. It's symbolism. So every little thing here is symbolic. It doesn't literally mean anything. It's just supposed to kind of spark things for you. So I love that about music, movies, cartoons, poetry, you know, books. It's just a little bit of... But they have to be you can't just say this is symbolism and it'd be like, it's like, well, you didn't do it right. Like, masks and his transformation, like, I can see where that might have gone a good way, but he obviously didn't execute it well because there's not a lot going on where they're like, Kanye... A lot of people were pissed about it. They don't, I mean...
About the mask? Well, yeah, because a lot of people were heckling him, and then the San Antonio show... He was, before, I forgot what song he just ended, and he was going to get into another one, and he was talking to the crowd, like, how you guys doing, and this and that, and apparently some chick on the floor was, like, yelling at him because she was drunk. She was like, take off the mask! And so, like, every time he would talk, she would cut him off, but, like, of course, I'm up, I can't hear anything that close. Yeah. So it's just like, and then he goes, like, I'm not a fucking comedian, don't heckle me, and, like, he walked away, and I was like, fuck, like, here's another show, he's stopping in the middle. I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, whoever's fucking him up, I was like, damn you, this is the best concert of my life. Now, and then so he walked back out and he kicked the fan out, and then he was talking to the crowd. He goes, you know, I'm doing my show. He goes, I had this plan, I'm doing the show that the way I wrote it, this and that. He goes, can I do the show that I want to give to y'all? And everyone's like, and so then he walked off stage. He was gone for like 10-15 minutes, and then he came back in and did his next song. But I was like, oh, thank God, because he's just a weird guy. He's to himself as far as a musician.
I can't get into anyone that's that into themselves. I can't imagine anything they breed. Someone that's that there's a word for this, that's that narcissistic. Anything they make is only a reflection of themselves. So, and real good art to me, a real good symbolism.
He writes music about himself.
But it's very perspective, though. It's relatable. Maybe that's not the only. That's the stuff that I am attracted to when it's high perspective. You know, very universal, very any kind of thing you can look at it. It works. You know, like my life, my fiance's life, my mother's life. You know, that's it. It all. when it's all general to one person, this is why I can't get into Christianity. It's like I'm like, nope, I don't like it.
Jesus,
although I fucking
the
that
way.
song, I fucking love that song,
dude.
I still sing it in the car. I'm like, don't show me the way, cause the devil's trying to hold me down. Jesus, walk with me.
So before he did that song, he had this Jesus and this choir walk out on stage, and he went, Jesus, meet Jesus, and then boom, boom. I was like, yeah, like I went nuts. That was like my top, like probably top 5 concerts I've ever been to.
Isn't it kind of blasphemous to call himself Jesus too, though?
Don't care. It was on a great show.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just, I can't get into him. And I won't, and I refuse. And
so let us know your thoughts on Kanye West.
Yeah,
I was like,
about.
even if his music is all like, even if his new album is all pro-Trump and all this bullshit, as long as it's got a good hook and I can sing along to it, fuck it, I'm gonna still jam Kanye West.
To be honest, I'm like that too, though, because if it's got a good hook, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I like mumble rap because
it's hit and miss. If
it's got a
really
good bump, like broccoli, I fucking love broccoli. And
yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit. Or I Spy.
Oh my god,
No,
I Spy.
I Spy. No, but broccoli isn't that one. It's the one you're talking about is
No, broccoli is all like, even though my broccoli.
Oh yeah.
It's like Migos, they're mumble rap. I can fuck with Migos.
I like Migos,
Future, Young Thug a little bit. And
Young Thug, the one he does with the he sounds like Roger Rabbit to me. I can't.
Oh, are you thinking of the song that's all like
it was a few years ago.
Puffing
on clouds, smoking on something. He sounds like Roger Rabbit when
I know, because I remember all those memes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just can't think of the name of the song.
They have the Mahoy Manoy SpongeBob do his part when it comes up. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I need a break.
You need a break? Alrighty.
You're the jerk of the week. You're a jerk and it's your week. You really outdid yourself like a crazy super jerk. You're probably a big jerk every week, but this week you're the jerk of the week.
Okay.
Favorite part. Jerkity.
Now I know to wait for that.
Oh man.
I think some episodes don't have it because I thought it was too long, but now I know.
Right. I prefer
that.
the jerkity. Oh, it cracks me up. It reminds me of Weird Al. It's like a Weird Al song.
I can see that. Yeah.
I love Weird Al.
I do too. See, he's an artist that is goofy, but it's universal goofy. Everyone can relate to those songs. Like,
you know he's actually an asshole in real life.
Oh, he's a big asshole.
Yeah, he's I don't know about big, but I know he's really rude to fans and interviewers and stuff. So
yeah, I don't know. I give him a pass.
You give him a pass.
Well, because his whole shtick is that it's fucking weird. You know what I mean? The whole point of his stuff is being like looking at things wrong. Taking a song and totally flipping it.
The Pokeramas.
Yeah, it's So I don't know. Anyways. Okay, so jerk of the week.
Jerk of the week.
Okay. So my jerk of the week is Wells Fargo.
Ooh. Now he said this was a lengthy one. I didn't know it was a bank. He's calling out a whole organization here.
Yes, fucking Wells Fargo.
All right.
So a month ago, I went in with I say this all the time. I feel like I'm the director of a nonprofit right now. And a month ago, I went in with the previous director to put me on as a signer because there's bills that have to be paid. I have to sign the checks now. Like, I have the checkbook but because I'm not a signer on there, every time we have bills that need to be paid, I have to go to the previous director and get her to sign the checks because I'm not a signer. So we finally last month go in, me and her, to get me put on as a signer. And so we go to Wells Fargo. That's our bank that we use, and they say, well, you're not the previous director. You're not a key executive, so you can't add anyone. She says you need to do X, Y, and Z. All this like articles of bylaws and Secretary of State and meeting minutes and right. And we're both like, what? Because she goes 3 years ago when she first became director. She goes, I just walked in with the card and said I need to be put on the account, and they just did it. And she goes, yeah, 3 years ago, it was a mess. She goes, yeah, Wells Fargo 3 years ago was a mess, and you could do that, and we realized that's not okay. And it isn't. That makes sense. You shouldn't be able to just walk up to any bank with a card and
I like to be on this card.
for this organization and have access to all their account because, look, I have the card. You know, so it makes sense. So I have no idea what I'm doing. Like,
right.
I'm building the plane as we're flying. Like, as, you know...
That's a good one. I never heard that before.
Yeah. That's exactly what my directorship has been so far since February. I've been the director since February, and just last month we tried to do this bank stuff. It was something that needed to be done. So whatever. So I look at her and I go, what do those even look? What is that? She's like, I don't even know. She goes, she gave me binders, and she goes, all of the stuff that's important is in there. So just go through that. Look, it'll say. And so I find shit that I'm like, I have no idea. I guess. Maybe. Let's find out. So I get... So she doesn't need to be there, come to find out. So the next time we go, this is the second time, I go with the person that's labeled as the key executive is actually the teacher that I made that for.
Oh.
12 years ago.
Drink break.
12 years ago, she started this account. That previous director. She has not been any part or known anything about the bills for a long time. But she's considered the key executive. And someone else who doesn't even live here anymore. She's not even in the organization whatsoever anymore. But, and so this is why it's lengthy, because it's technical. She can take anyone off because she's a key executive. She can hand it off to me, blah, blah, blah. Well, when we went in the second time with the key executive and a new signer that I need, my director of finance, who's new also, we want to be put on, we need to take them off. So we go in there with our meeting minutes, with everything that I'm guessing this is it, but it's a newbie. He's a newbie. And I could sense the newbie in him, where he didn't really know what was going on. So when I gave him the stuff, and he was like, yeah, this doesn't look right. Right? But I could tell it was really him going like, I don't really know how to do this, so I'm going to say this is wrong. And I could tell you don't know how to do this, you know.
So you're going to believe whatever?
Right. Exactly. So he tells us, he goes, you know, actually... And he's making this up on the fly. He goes, you know, you don't need this key executive here. You just need the meeting minutes stating everything really specifically. And he goes, this is how your meeting minutes aren't specific and why I can't do it right now. He goes, if you go change it, I can do it. But I had already told him that I wouldn't be able to come back. So that was convenient that he wouldn't be able to, right?
Right.
But he's like, oh, I'll do it if you come back, knowing that I can't come back that day because I was going to Austin that night too. So... I know, I go, okay, well, all that other stuff, the Secretary of State stuff, the bylaws, the whatever, I go, I have no idea. That's going to take a while. I don't know. And I need to do this quick because the previous director is moving to Vermont. So no one's going to be able to write checks, and I have to be paying bills when she leaves. He goes, well, just get your meeting minutes straightened out, saying that you need yourself and your director of finance put on. We can do that, and then just take care of everything else later. To ship that out. And I look at, his name's Paul, the director of finance. I go, okay, let's do that. I had to take a week out because I was during that retreat.
Right.
And so, third time. So now we come the third time. Just me and Paul. Drink break.
Drink break.
Just me and Paul. So now we get the girl that I saw the first time, and she's the business specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to her with my meeting minutes exactly the way they need to be. And she goes... Yeah, you need everyone. There's a council on the meeting minutes of the council. She goes, yeah, your meeting minutes are great. It's very specific, but you need everyone to sign these meeting minutes, and you need your key executive here, the teacher.
Ugh.
And I was told we don't need her. This woman's 75 years old, but she's like very sprightly. Like she does yoga and all this stuff. Like she's fine. But I was trying to play into the sympathy, so I was like, you know, she's 75 years old. She lives in shirts. It's not easy for her to come down here, you know, trying to get this expedited quickly. And she was like, I'm sorry, but we have to do that. And I kind of was like, well, you know, I thought that was weird that even for Heather, the previous director, to come in with a card and just put herself on was weird. And then even the guy saying, you don't need the key executive, you just need me. Anyone can type shit up. And just go, right. I am the owner of this business now. Here you go. And I asked him, I go, you don't need this key executive here? The person that is in charge to change that? Anyone can come in? He's like, yeah. And he was like, well, your bylaws will say who's in charge, and if you figure it out that someone did that, it's an easy fix. Basically, is what he was saying. Like, after the fact, you can change it back.
Like, if it was fraudulent, no,
we would just take care of it. Yeah. And I was like, that's fucking shady, but whatever. I just need to get this done so I can start being able to write checks. So, fourth time we go, I bring because the third time I go, talking with the lady that I had first talked with, and I had my meeting minutes only, and I said, these are good though, right? I just need them to sign, and you need the key executive, the previous key executive. That's everything I need, right? And she goes, yes, this is perfect. Have them sign everything. Bring in your key executive. We're good to go. Fourth time, this was a Monday. Yesterday, at 9 a.m., my 75-year-old teacher, lives in Shirts, drove down to San Antonio. It was only half an hour, but
right
to at 9 a.m. in the morning, and we're like, good, we got the meetings, everyone signed, she signed. She goes, okay, great. Do you have your bylaws and your articles and your Secretary of State information? I go, the guy told us we could do this. Just get us on. We just need to be put on so that we can write checks. He said we could do this later. She goes, well, I told you the first time that you need... I go, but we were told after that we could do that later. And we got into it a little bit. We're all meditators, so we're not really aggressive. But we were just like, my director of finance goes, it'd probably be easier if we just start this up, close our account and start up somewhere else. And she got kind of like, I've been doing this a long time. I'm sure I didn't tell you that you could just do that. I was like, you told us one thing, he told us another, and now we're still not fucking getting it. Mm-hmm. So now we have to... I have no fucking idea.
Right.
None of us know.
That's giving me stress right now.
Right? The teacher, she, I guess when she started, had all that stuff, but things have changed in 12 years.
Right.
How to do this. So now I got to go down to the courthouse to get our articles official, and then I got to go get Secretary of State. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I have no idea what that even means. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what... So fuck Wells Fargo for...
Fuck them.
Was
it the Wells Fargo right up here?
No, it was the one on Mulberry downtown because that's where we're kind of located. I figured that would be an easy... It's by the center, so... Drink break. The lady... I'm not mad at her because I know she's just doing her job. There were just a lot of hands in there. And with the other guy, too, not knowing what he was talking about, but giving us this, wrong... information.
Well, why didn't you tell him, can't you double check this?
What?
The guy? The guy. Why didn't you be are you sure? Can't you double check this?
So...
Or was he just no, this is right.
With the guy, that was the second time we came in, and again, this was being not rushed, but we all were going to Austin that night. The teacher and my director of finance were doing a program. He even said, just go change the minutes. He goes, I just can't see you change it, but if you go change it, however you got to do it and come back.
I can't legally see you change it.
Yeah. But he knew I couldn't go back to him because I had already explained that I would not be able to come back. But he goes, I said, I'm going to be in Austin by 5 o'clock tonight.
And it's a typical customer service move. It's if you could do it we could do this, but I know you have. But even
conflicts. Then he told us, well, if you get into Austin, they can do it. He just, I don't know, he made it up and ran with it. Really believed in himself, I think. And God, it just fucking sucks because I don't know what the fuck I have to do now. Now the spotlight's on me because it's my job to take care of this. And I have no idea. I'm I've never run a nonprofit. I've never even had this shit from my own. My banking's very easy. I just get deposited into my bank account.
I was have you ever been cashed a check ever your whole life?
Okay. The first time I had to write a check for the center to one of our teachers. They're called honorariums. You pay the teacher for a program. And the previous director, she was actually director at the time, but I was gonna become director, so she was she went to Bali, and she left me 5 checks that she had pre-signed, and she was just if anything comes up, just fill it out. So I had to pay the honorarium. And I remember the day of where I had to pay the teacher because it was the end of the program, I was I've never written a check before. I was I don't even know how to fucking write. I had to YouTube it. How the fuck do you write a check? No one fucking... I don't ever written a check. I don't even fucking like checks. Use a debit card, right? Can I Venmo you? Can I PayPal this? Who uses checks anymore? But we have to. I don't know why we have to, but We have to. So fuck Wells Fargo.
Fuck Wells Fargo.
And their shitty fucking system. How are that? No, they don't even know how it fucking works. I really don't know how it fucking works.
Well, they got into a lot of trouble a few years back, a couple years ago, for having all this fraud, for like putting fraud on their members. Like they were the ones, the root of the problems, and Wells Fargo lost a lot of business. I know that.
It sucks because my previous director too. I'm still work very close with her because she's still. You know, it's this transition of handing it off to me is still like a long process. And she was like, you know, we could just change banks. She goes, because even Wells Fargo politics don't really jive with our nonprofit politics. Like,
right.
The only thing is that for whatever reason, our internet, because, you know, we're just a local center, but we all kick up to the international because this nonprofit is an international thing. And their bookkeeping system they use for the money, it's called Xero, Xero. It only is compatible. It's only compatible with like these big banks. Mm-hmm. So like Wells Fargo, anything we do in Wells Fargo will show up on our bookkeeping app, which is good. It's convenient. If we go to like Frost, which is not as big as Wells Fargo for whatever, it's more local apparently than Wells
Frost
Fargo.
Is like Texas.
Frost, or like if we went to a credit union, that would probably be more beneficial to us. The bookkeeping, we'd have to do it manually, and that's just an extra. We're all volunteers, so it's kind of like making extra jobs just doesn't make sense. It's like we have this because Wells Fargo or like Bank of America, and my director of finance, and he's like 60 or something. He's like, it's kind of like picking a dump of shit anywhere you go. Like, you know, either one we could change, but it's gonna be just as bad as the other one. So fuck Wells Fargo.
Fuck Wells Fargo.
Piece
yeah.
of shit.
I was like, don't bank with them. I bank with Security Service Federal Credit Union.
Yeah, you know, my bank...
San Antonio, locally grown.
My personal bank account is with Wells Fargo, and I've never had problems with them. But I don't make any money, so that's why, like...
Stupid.
We don't make any money, so it's not a big deal, you know? But now that we're dealing with nonprofit bullshit, it's insane how... I don't know.
Man.
Yeah. At the same time, I'm like, yeah, you need a key executive there to sign this off. Why would you not? It's scary to think that because they're called Sangha. Sangha means community in Buddhism. And I'm like, so any one of them that knows all of the council and just could type it, and that's what he said. He was like, yeah, just bring the meeting minutes and just type up the meeting, because you just type them up. It's just typed up like what our meeting was about. And at the end says, council agrees that the Teach and Paul will be the key executives and signers of the account. And I was like, anyone could do that? He was like, yeah, anyone could do it.
That's fucking
I was
shady.
like, for real? He's like, uh-huh. Come to find out, I guess that's not the case. I guess that used to be the case. But now...
He's the reason why they had to...
He's the fucking reason, yeah. Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
So I still have to deal with that. So it's just like... pain in the ass.
Okay. Speaking of pains in the ass, another topic that
sex?
Yeah. So fucking a school district in New Jersey has, I don't know if this is like an official bill or just like a thing they're putting into their district or the whole city or whole state, I don't know. So cheerleading squads, they have to now accept everybody or nobody's a cheerleader.
You love your cheerleading squad. I feed you bonbons on that. Sorry, it just came to me when you said that.
I think this is stupid. I don't think that everybody should be a cheerleader. As far as equality, yeah, if a guy wants to be a cheerleader, go for it. Let him be a cheerleader. There's male cheerleaders in college and everything like that.
And in high school.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like,
there could be. I don't think
there could be. I've seen more male cheerleaders in college than I do like anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck it. If the guy wants to twirl around and dance, let him twirl around and dance.
Yeah.
Have fun. He wants to show school spirit, let him show school spirit.
Fucking A.
So, because when you think cheerleader, what's the first thing that pops to your mind?
Peppy.
Yeah, peppy, preppy, skinny little white girl, blonde hair, right? And that's how it's stereotypically shown. So in my school, we had like the cheerleaders, the dance team, da-da-da, right?
Mm.
You know, school has a melting pot of a lot of different people. You know, there was, now I'm not trying to sound mean, you know, but there was bigger cheerleaders, bigger members on the dance squad, you know. But you know
Especially
what?
down here in San Antonio.
Yeah, down here in Texas, you know, I've heard people call these type of things like the cattle herd and cattle squad and all this stuff. Fuck the things.
Longhorns coming through.
yeah, fucking like messed up shit, right? So well, not messed up shit, excuse me, to the names, but yeah, but I mean, you know what? They all had to try out. They all had to audition. If whoever's the one that judges or decides who gets to be in, if they felt that person was fit to be on the team and fit to keep up with them, then yeah, they get to make it. Congratulations, that's an honor thing. It's kind of like, I made it, I worked hard, I trained, I practiced, da-da-da. Cool, right? But I think the thing is, with this whole, and I'm going to say it's this whole modern day, like, oh, I want to be included too. It's like, I guarantee you and again, I'm not trying to sound rude, but it's the bigger girls. Well, that's not fair that I could be on there. The guys, that's not fair if I could be on it. I can do that stuff. It's like, yeah, but did you audition? There's probably somebody better than you. And that's what the team is. It's a small team. So with putting more people on the team, that's just going to look like a ridiculous cheerleading squad. What are your thoughts about this? Do you think they should include everybody or just the people that knock out their tryouts?
I don't. And I'm probably more of an SJW than you maybe, and that's a bad connotation. And I don't really consider myself that, but I could see where maybe people would think I am, but because I do think of like the equality aspect or like the equal opportunity, really, not just giving, but it's equal opportunity. It's not just everyone getting to be on the squad that wants to be on the squad, not really compatible. It just doesn't make sense. In my high school, at Taft at least, when I was there for freshman year, there was pep squad.
Yeah.
And then there was the cheerleading squad, and then there was dance club.
Yeah.
And they all had their time during the halftime show to do their thing. So the thing was like pep squad was usually more freshmen.
Yeah, that's freshmen, yeah.
And the big girls, because they accepted.
They took that as their PE class.
They took it as their PE class, and they accepted everyone. And then you did have older people in the pep squad like that stayed with it. They just didn't want to go on to cheerleading because it's a more dynamic group. It takes more to do cheerleading squad. Mm-hmm. But the big girls, I've seen big girls do a backflip.
Yeah, it's like,
if you can, you can, and that you're good to do that then. So if you can do that, if you're a big girl or a guy or whatever that can do that, and you're flexible, there's big guys and girls that can super flexible and shit, like for whatever reason, then you're good to go. Like, right. Okay, you obviously were better than a skinny, pretty white girl that can't do shit. It kind of seemed that way. They didn't just accept anyone. You had to be able to do shit. Because cheerleading, it's really just to pep up the crowd, and the flips get people going, Yeah, you see some bitch do a flip, you're like, oh, fucking hey! Like, give me a mid-strength beer and some chips. Like, but if you can't do it, you can't do it. Like, that just...
Yeah, I don't agree with it. So...
I don't agree with it.
So with that, the big aspect, the girls that have more weight, more meat on their bones, that's how I'm going to put it. So look at WWE. Everything, I'm going to circle back to WWE because I'm a wrestling fan. There's people that make fun of the wrestlers. Oh, he's super fat. Yeah, but you know what? He's super fat. He's super huge, but he's fit. He's physically fit to be in the WWE because
his endurance is there.
You have to be strong. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to work with other people's body types and everything like that. You have to be fit. They run physicals on their wrestlers to make sure they're still in physical shape.
Yeah.
Like WWE isn't what everybody thinks. Oh, if you're big and strong, then yeah, you're in there. Oh, if you take steroids, you're in there. No, WWE is very open about what they maintain. There's plenty of big muscle
guys that are not healthy, and like their endurance is not there.
Dude, so
they
WWE
can't run a mile.
Yeah, so WWE was in Saudi Arabia, and while they were in Saudi Arabia, they were doing open tryouts for WWE, and only a few, like out of 400, 500 people that tried out, only 3 or 4 made the cut. Out of the whole country of Saudi Arabia that showed up, 3 to 4 people that were deemed by WWE, yeah, you're good for the tryout, but now you're going to come to the Performance Center in Florida, and now we're going to really put you to the test. Mm-hmm. So that's like a pre-qualification, again, in WWE. And I've seen their training stuff. Like, I've seen the tryouts and what they make them do. There's people that pass out and vomit on the side of the ring. Like, you have to be in such shape to be a wrestler. So same thing with being a cheerleader. You have to be in such good shape. Because, like, yeah, you know what? If you're a bigger, stockier girl, yeah, maybe you won't be the one they throw into the air and, like, fucking, try to fucking catch. Not trying to be mean. Yeah, but you know what? If you're really strong and flexible stuff, yeah, you'll have your solo moments to shine. But I guarantee you, they'll have you put up... Those skinny bitches, I don't trust, like, to catch.
Right.
Because Stevens had thicker girls as the, as the cheerleaders. And I remember one of the thicker girls got thrown up, and I'm like, these skinny bitches, they're gonna... They're gonna fucking... She's gonna break her ass. So I'm like, fucking... Give it up for Nicole. Yeah. Give it up for Nicole. We'll be back next year.
Everybody take a knee.
Yeah, right? Fucking... TV timeout.
Yeah.
Fucking...
I don't... I'm always... And we've talked about that, I think, last episode or so, about the whole... I get really mad about the whole millennial talk where, like, the whole...
I don't think it has to do with millennial talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's the thing is that this is... It points to the aspect of that it's our generation fucking shit up because we're letting everyone... Like, this aspect of letting anyone that wants to join be in the cheering squad, it just happens. That, obviously, for the old timers are going to go, fucking millennials, that's a millennial thing that's going on. That is kind of true at that point because that's different, though.
I want to be a cheerleader.
Now, okay, I'm going to... segue a little bit, but like the Boy Scouts.
Don't even. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna take a drink.
I love the meme where it goes, "Where's the requirement to be a Boy Scout?" It's in the name, like Boy Scout. Now, I think there is something fundamentally wrong that there are Boy Scouts and there's Girl Scouts, and like the people go, there's Boy Scouts for the boys, and the girls want to be in they can be in Girl Scouts. But it's like, there are girls that don't want to sell cookies. They want to learn how to be in the wilderness, and learn how to tie... I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but if they want to, they want to learn how to tie knots and fucking live in the wilderness, and that... It should be open to that. It should. It just should. I agree with that. And there's the aspect of... I was looking at the comments where it's like... And wait until everyone's pregnant and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't...
So everyone's pregnant. Jesus Christ, these 12-year-olds aren't going to be fucking... Like,
well, it goes up to 18. Or...
I don't... Well,
even further.
Because I remember I wanted to... Because I was in the Boy Scouts. And I remember I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it the Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
And I fucking got to Wolf. And I was like, man, this is so gay. Oh,
yeah.
This is, like, so lame. I was like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like, Dad, quit signing me up for this shit. Like, this is stupid.
If any girl wants to do that dumb shit... I mean... That's the thing, though. That is fundamentally wrong. That a girl goes, I like what the Boy Scouts are doing. Like, I want to go sit and eat a can of beans and, like, tie knots.
A fucking hobo.
Whatever the fuck they do in Boy Scouts. I don't know.
Nah, like...
I mean, it's all wilderness. It's tactics, right?
It's the Boy Scouts.
So here's the thing. Why can't a girl learn that? That's basically what it's saying.
A girl shouldn't learn it, but they should make programs for the actual Girl Scouts to where they can't, because I know there's lots of girls that want to do that stuff, but they should incorporate that into the Girl Scouts. Because the Girl Scouts do more than just sell cookies. Like, I have friends that were in the Girl Scouts, and they would learn some stuff, but it was never, like, hands-on like the Boy Scouts was. Yeah. Do you remember that episode of Parks and Rec where Leslie Knope was in charge of the girls, and how they kind of, like, swapped? Ron Swanson was like, no, that's for the girls, and no, that's the boy stuff.
Well, here's the thing, is that's what that alludes to, is that instead of... See, here's the thing, is that we're separated by what girls learn and what boys learn, and, like, the Boy Scouts... Because on the same aspect in the show, too, the boy wanted to just hang out and, like, have a good time with friends, and the Girl Scouts incorporated that more. And blah, blah, blah. The point is that it shouldn't be so gender-specific that here's the Boy Scouts, and this is what boys do, and here's what Girl Scouts, and this is what girls do. It should really be, here's tactical shit. If you want to learn to do this shit, here's this part. Boys and girls can... Whoever kid wants to learn this, sign up for this. And at the end of the show, that's what it was. Boys, when Ron Swanson, he was just like, this is going to hurt, and it's going to be horrible, and you're going to hate your life. You want to do it, and everyone... Boys and girls are like, yeah, like, that's what I want to learn. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be, this is Boy Scouts. This is... You want to learn how to do really boring fucking shit you'll never have to do for the apocalypse? Sign up here. And if you want to do stuff that's more like, intrapersonal and interpersonal and go door to door to do this stuff, sign up here. It's hard because the change has to go. We have to have the conversation of girls and boys because that's how we've always called it, girls and boys. But I agree that the name should cease to exist, boys and girls.
I like the names. I think the names are super established. I think they should just have the Boy Scouts. Yeah, they could teach more of like for the sensitive boys. They should have like programs that. Because in the meetings, like the meetings themselves, like the Boy Scout meetings...
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, the Boy Scout meetings is all just like, hey, so-and-so learned how to play marbles. Here's your little marbles clip for your belt. Yeah!
Is marbles a thing?
Yeah, you play marbles and...
I mean, why anyone wants to do any of this shit is beyond me.
Because my dad was in it. I think my grandpa was in it. So
it's nostalgic and it pisses people off.
But it was cool. Like, I got to shoot a BB gun.
No,
I got
but
to shoot
it
bows
becomes
and arrows.
scary that you're changing someone's childhood, right?
But I was like, I think I had like maybe 2 or 3 fun moments. I never went on the big trips or the big like camping things, so I didn't learn those things. But like what I'm saying is like, because I was one of those like, I'm like, wilderness, no, gross. I like cleaning. I like, learning different things like, around the house, and like I like being more. I was a very sensitive kid. I still think I'm a sensitive person now. So there's lots of sensitive boys that get forced into do this because of their dad.
Yeah, everyone has that side to them.
So I think they should have programs within the Boy Scouts, but maintain that name, the Boy Scouts, but have seminars and like sessions like for like when they go on the big retreats. Hey, this is where we do arts and crafts. This is where we kind of learn how to put our artistic skills together, perform like kind of verbal skills. This is not for the shy kids. This and that. Same thing with the Girl Scouts. I guarantee you there's tons of girls that hate being in the Girl Scouts because it's like, this is too girly. I like doing the hands-on stuff. And they should have seminars with the Girl Scouts, but keep that name, Girl Scouts of America, Boy Scouts of America, but they incorporate what the Boy Scouts do, because the Boy Scouts do popcorn. The Boy Scouts I sold a lot of popcorn when I was in the Boy Scouts. It's just not as popular as the cookies, right. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've never seen any Boy Scouts try to sell popcorn.
They would do it in front of Walmarts. Since my dad worked at a Walmart, he would always get the prime spots, and we like our troop would sell popcorn and
right in the middle of the doors.
Yeah,
like the prime spot, not in the corners.
Yeah,
right in the middle.
We're like, hey, buy popcorn, support the Boy Scouts, support Troop 400. And then the Girl Scouts sell the cookies, but then of course the cookies dominate, in the early springtime or whatever, and the popcorn was usually around winter time. But I think, because I know people are always going to be super hesitant as far as eliminating the Boy Scout, Girl Scout, because I agree. I know I'm trying to be more progressive and everything like that, but the Boy Scouts I think should just open it up to a lot more, but still keep it that Boy Scouts, because I like the way that Boy Scouts kind of teach that camaraderie, whatever you say it,
yes, sir.
Between boys growing up, turning into young men, everything like that, and the girls teaching skills on how to associate with other young women, everything like that, because that's really what I thought what the Boy Scouts was for, is how to communicate with other boys. Because like boys could be very, very mean. We're both boys, we turn into men. Guys are very rude. Guys are sometimes very different than what we think. So I liked getting along with other guys and everything, having that bromance with guys at a young age. And I guarantee you girls love building that sisterhood, at a young age. But I think the Girl Scouts should teach wilderness hunting, everything like that, and guys should teach more feelings and being personable and everything like that. Instead of being all machismo and everything like that, and girls just being, here's cookies. But not eliminating the
So it's
names.
still keeping the same names, but just they would be the same club though. Just keeping the names.
Same club, but teaching more things.
They would incorporate the same stuff. And then the only difference would really be Girl Scouts cookies, Boy Scouts popcorn. But at the same time, everything else would be the same because you could pick and choose what you wanted to do. Wilderness, both would incorporate the wilderness or tactical, learning.
Yeah, because in the meetings, because I don't know how the Girl Scout meetings work, obviously, but I know in the Boy Scout meetings we met every Tuesday. We met every Thursday at this one church on Tezel, and it would be everybody of all like the different types of groups or whatever, and it would be, well, what did you learn in your weekly meeting? We did this, because my dad was a leader, so he's like, well, I taught the boys how to, do this with the box cars and the boats, and I taught these boys how to do this, because we would have our weekly meetings Tuesday, where it'd be the people in the same age group, because that's how it was. So every Thursday was that weekly meeting, but once every other month, they would have a big thing at these big parks where they teach you BB guns, bows and arrows, and running, and marbles, and all this
Popcorn.
bullshit. Yeah, popcorn tactics. And it's like, I just don't know if the Girl Scouts did those big types of meetings where everybody in the city gets together and they learn different things, because they didn't do quote-unquote girly things with the Boy Scouts. But I know I wanted to do arts and crafts. I wanted to do like karaoke and like all this stuff, like all the fun things I would hear my friends at school that did the Girl Scouts at their weekly meetings. Oh, we did this, and we had sleepovers and this and that. Like, that wasn't something the Boy Scouts did.
I don't know.
They should make it more of like more options within the organization.
To be honest, I think that would be the more, I guess, probably the more. I don't know. I don't think it would be easier, but it would be more palatable for for society to do that way. To be honest, I think that's a lot more work, because you have to do two of reflecting each other versus just having one that's incorporated in one style and the other style, and just being like, this is this side of Scouts and this is this side of Scouts, and you can pick. But I don't know, the idea of the bromance, or like the way of communicating with the males and the communication with the women. It's also, I mean, we talked about last episode or the episode before about how that the way we've learned how to be men and women how to be women is not really good, because we talked about how we're expected to be have a shotgun in your lap when you meet your daughter's girlfriend or boyfriend, and that probably is not so dramatic, but in that aspect is transcendent of Boy Scouts. How do you learn how to relate with men? Not intimately, intimately not in the sense of sexually intimately, right, but like just from heart to heart. But you're men, so you don't have heart to hearts.
Yeah, bro.
You go tie knots together. You don't talk about shit.
Nobody even taught how to tie knots in the Boy Scouts.
I thought it was not.
No. I was like...
I'm going to shut up. I don't know.
Tie knots?
I thought that was a part. Someone I know has a badge of something with knot tying or something. I saw that somewhere in a fucking... Whatever.
So I was like, knot tying? I was like, why do you keep bringing up?
Marble badge. What the fuck ever.
Chinese checkers? I did Chinese checkers too.
Okay, cool, great. So... Chinese checkers, whatever. That aspect, knots, checkers, they're all fucking stupid. Like, there's no point to
I was like, I didn't learn anything cool in the Boy Scouts.
It's any superfluous act that either one of them does. Meanwhile, go fucking draw and fucking do something cool. Like, what? Anyways, my point being, it's not gonna happen. I guess it is happening though. Did they change the name? Did it happen?
No.
Okay.
It's still Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts.
I don't know. I heard that they were trying to change it to Scouts, or that it had changed to Scouts instead of Boy Scouts.
Not that I'm aware of. Last I heard about it, it was just the girls complaining again. We want to be in the Boy Scouts.
Well, I don't know.
I just know that
it's not a favorable topic, and I really don't care. Who cares? I really don't give a shit. If Boy Scouts save the Boy Scouts forever, I don't give a shit. My kid, if they want to join whatever they want to join,
right? So
I guess that's where that gets, because what if I have a boy that wants to join the Girl Scouts? Because I want to sell cookies, and then or if I have a girl that's like, I want to go play marbles, and Danny keeps talking about I can learn how to play knots, but
I can play knots. I don't know, because I don't even remember asking to sign up for the Boy Scouts. I remember one day my dad picked me up out of school and he goes, "Here, put on the shirt." And it was a Tiger Cubs skirt. It was a Tiger Cubs shirt.
Now, Tiger Cubs is a different thing, isn't it?
No, it's still part of the Boy Scouts.
Because I was part of the Cubs.
The Cub Scouts.
Cub Scouts, yeah.
Yeah, the Cub Scouts is part of the Boy Scouts, but you're like introducing, like,
I didn't know.
Like you're like the rookies.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I was part of that shit. I didn't last so
So we had the orange shirt with the little tigers on it.
Yeah, the paw print.
Yeah.
Right, the decals, the iron on.
Yeah. So it was like, I was in that. And
I didn't even know.
And we went into some church and I was like, "Dad, where are we?" And he goes, "Oh, we're in the Boy Scouts." And I think the main reason why my dad did it, and I could be totally wrong, is because our next door neighbors at our the first house we lived in, our next door neighbors were named the Abinsays. That was their family name. And their dad was so, like, hands-on with everything, and, like, he had tons of boys. I don't know if he talked him into it, but I think he just, like, I think my dad just saw him wear his Boy Scout uniform all the time. Yeah. And I know the neighbor boys were in the Boy Scouts, and I was like, "Dad, what do they do?" "No, you don't need to worry about that." Okay, like, whatever. Like, they would always go to school in their stupid uniform with the bandana on.
Yeah, that's fucking lame.
And it was like, I remember my dad was like, I was like, "Oh, look, Mr. Abinsay," and we'd see his sons like, "Hey, Keone."
the practice of the law firm, the owner, the originator, Ted Lee, who owns the place, he's like do you keep Eagle Scout? Is that like, as a old person, are you still considered Eagle Scout?
I mean, I think you're being more dramatic. I think they're being more dramatic of it if they keep that title on themselves.
I don't know if he does or not. All I know is that he's very active into like Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts?
And so like even his paralegal's son was part of the Boys, like his secretary's son grew up in the Boy Scouts through like, he's still like an avid participant of the Boy Scout stuff. Like I have to make copies of fucking travel guides or whatever to distribute to his fucking troops or whatever. Anyways, I don't know. I don't really care about it though, so that's why it's very easy for me to just be like, I don't know, let the little fuckers play with lawn darts for all I care. Like they can like,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, just fucking little one-eyed motherfuckers throw shit at each other all the time. I don't care.
That'd be hilarious.
But it's for people that are like Boy Scouts or whatever. They're like, it's a boys club for boys to become men, and this is how it's gonna be, and this is how it always will be, and it's like, yeah, things don't really always work like that.
I was like,
what I'd really like to see is actually two clubs actually like rival the Boy and Girl Scouts and be like, yeah, this isn't a Boy Scouts, this is actually just like whatever this shit, we're gonna do that and anyone's welcome, and then the other guy is going like, we sell cookies too, they're just as good as this, and like everyone just starts joining that, and the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts just kind of like dwindle and like become nothing because everyone's going to these other clubs that are just more, susceptible to like the type of stuff that just boys and girls want to learn as they pick it. I'd rather see that. If I don't give a fuck. Right. So
that'd be cool. I would like to have like one day but like I would never even probably bring it up to my son if whenever he gets into school and stuff. You know, I would like for him to come home. Daddy, what's this? And he has a sign-up sheet and be like, do you want to do that, son? Be like, yeah. All right, get over here.
I'm saying, fuck no.
Be like, you'll pick up your shit tomorrow.
Listen to this episode of Who Cares?
listen to our 1 hour and 26 minutes, or before that.
Let me tell you what your father thinks about this. And you tell me what you decide.
You know your Uncle David? This is what he has to say. Exactly. So I'll let you choose.
See that asshole in the wedding picture? He doesn't want you to sell cookies, so...
Do you like Thin Mint, son? Well, David says you don't. You like caramel and cheddar popcorn. If you want to be like this asshole, you'll join this devil organization. No. But moral of the story is, not everybody should be a cheerleader.
Oh, fuck, that's right. That's true. Not everyone should be a cheerleader.
Because that just turns into that whole discussion, well, everybody gets a participation award, even the losers. It's like, which I agree. Like, no, like, I don't think everybody should get a trophy. Like, hey, you played in the soccer game? Good job. I guarantee you worked hard, but they won. It's like, work harder to beat them next time.
Have I expressed this? I think I did. I had a drink of the week from my teacher one time that I think I talked about this, but I think the way that this participation ribbon trophy came about was generationally. Generation X was our parents. Generation X didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do. Because before them was baby boomers. And they were all gung-ho. It's very easy for them to just go get a 9-to-5. And they could afford a house, for a 3.5 nuclear family, right?
Right.
But things changed. As in the 80s and in the early 90s, things changed. That doesn't go as far. You can't get you need a bachelor's now to kind of sustain that, more or less, right? And Generation X was where baby boomers were like, my father did this, I do this. And I love the president, no matter who the fuck he is.
Oh, okay.
Generation X was more like, I don't give a fuck about what my dad did. And fuck the president. And they were called Generation X. That came about not because it wasn't a random letter. X in the sense that it was in a mystery. No one knew where the generation was going. Because they were so apathetic about everything. They were like, I don't know, I don't care. We're just going with it. Cocaine's kind of fun, and this 80s music is dope. So,
right.
And so that's how they were. So they had no sense of community either, though. They were all the counterculture, more or less the second wave of counterculture, where they were dropping out too, like not wanting to be part of society, leather jackets, cocaine, whatever. So then their children, Generation Y, which is us, and I think we're millennials. We're not Generation Z, it gets really complicated.
I don't like titles.
It gets really fucking convoluted. But Generation Y we weren't given that name because it comes after X. It was Y because we always question everything also. We didn't opt out, we questioned though. We were like, well, why do I have to do what Dad or Grandpa used to do? Or why do I have to go to school? Why do I have to do this? And the way to kind of direct everything, I think, this is totally speculation. This is no one smart has said this. Only me, and I'm an idiot. So take with that for a grain of salt. But I feel like the participation ribbons was our younger. That came with us, where us as children, they started giving us out. It was more of a way to get people communal. You know, it was more like you were a part of something, like you participated. Generation X didn't want to, but now to try to appease, to get us into doing stuff as a society was like, well, you get this ribbon just to be a part of it. But me, I remember I was never a first place winner, and I still am not. And but when I participated, I would get the ribbon. But there was always a first, second, and third place that got the trophy, the big trophy. So it never was, for me, it was never this aspect of like, I get a participation, I win. It was still like, oh, I did this, but I didn't win. I mean, there was no difference of like, I win too. I never thought that.
I always thought it was an insult. Like, even as a kid.
It was almost kind of an insult.
Yeah, as a kid, because my school would do, I don't know if a lot of schools here in Texas did it, but my school did what's called a bike rodeo.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, it's like where you ride your little bike.
You were
and
here in Texas?
I was here in Texas.
Oh, wait, I thought you just said you don't know other places?
I don't know if other states had
it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
Because I know schools in San Antonio did it
bike
very
rodeo,
predominantly, yeah. So, and I remember the first year my parents were finally like, yeah, go do it or whatever. Because my parents didn't like because I just wanted to skip class just so I could do the little rodeo thing.
Yeah.
So, I remember doing it, and I remember, like, I fucked up in one spot, so I got a little, like, go there and say, good job, you participated in the Robb Elementary bike rodeo.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little bit, I ripped it up. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Well, not as a kid, I was like, this is stupid. Like,
yeah.
And I ripped it up in front of the coach that handed it to me, because I'm just like, I didn't win. Like, I don't want nothing.
And my thing is that, so everyone said, like, the new thing is, like, we all look back at it now, right? Because I don't know if they still do it or not, because I don't have kids.
Yeah, right.
Do they still do it? Let us know.
Yeah, I was like, do they have bike rodeos? Tell us. Like,
well, the participation aspect.
Oh, yeah, I was more concerned about the bike rodeo. I was like, does that still exist?
Like, can I join? I could whip a third grader's ass.
I was right like, now. I'll fucking teach us Huffy.
No fifth grader can defeat the Grinch. No, so the participation aspect, I don't know if they still do it. They probably do. But so what I'm saying is that us as kids, when they were trying this out, there was no differentiation, or there was no that we thought, oh, goody. I don't remember feeling good about getting a participation ribbon, being like, I won too. I mean, I distinctly knew I did not win.
Yeah.
And this was a booby prize. I lost. So it wasn't, but when we look at it, a lot of people are like, all these kids think they win. Every time you give them a ribbon, they get stuff, and now they're all fucked up. I'm like, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I was like, I never thought about that.
Most kids, even when you got one, I mean, from my experience, it was like, I knew I didn't win. Like, there was no aspect, like, now as an adult that I'm like, where's my participation prize? Like, I don't have that because I didn't
always felt
enjoy
like it was just trying to make the kids not to cry. I always thought it was that.
I thought it was...
Here you go.
Well, maybe at the time, looking at it now, though, I'm like, I think it was just that you were a part of something. Like, we're trying to regain this. Generation X fucked a lot of shit up.
Yeah,
and baby boomers set it up, and then Generation X really knocked it down. And so Generation Y, we're still scrambling to figure shit out. And Generation Z is eating Tide Pods. But I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this.
Let us know. Let us know what your ideas are, or what your thoughts are on participation trophies. Have you gotten them? Did you do a bike rodeo that you failed at?
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe I remember a bike rodeo, dude.
You know, it's funny because when I was talking about my experience before you said that, that's what I remember is the bike rodeo.
The bike rodeo? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's so funny. I wonder... And you know, when I was doing Lyft, when I do Lyft because I drive around, right? Like when I wait for rides and stuff, like I'm online, I'm just driving around different areas. I went by my old elementary school, Robb Elementary. Carl, Jean, and Bunny Robb Elementary. So I went by there, and I even drove through my old neighborhood first, but I went to the elementary school, and I went down the bus loop and everything. I'm like, man, like so many memories just flooding back, and I'm like, I'm not even that old. Like I'm only 23, but it's just like I felt overwhelmed with emotion. I was listening to a 2000s playlist, so music that was coming out when I was in elementary, and I was just like, man, like this all like just the days that were so much simpler. Like if I. Because as a kid, you grow up, you hate school, and you're like, this is stupid. Like I want to do this, I want to do this. I would kill to go back to elementary school, man. I would fucking, like, if I had a genie who's like, what is your wish? I was like, I want to go back to when I was 4 years old. I want to redo everything. Like, I want to appreciate school. Because I always thought, like, the kids that appreciate school, I love coming to school. I'm like fucking losers. Like, I'm over here ripping books out of the, pages out of the books in the library. It's like, take this, Rama. Like, take this, peas. Like,
all right, Judd Nelson.
Like, yeah, right? Like, fucking nerds. Like, I just hated school, but, like, when I was a kid, and I'm just, like, and thinking about the Boy Scouts and everything, I'm like, there's so many things I could have done differently. And, like, the one memory that always pops up, and especially speaking about the Boy Scouts, is so embarrassing. So there's a videotape, and it's a VHS, and I don't even know if my parents still have the VHSs, of a Boy Scout activity day. That was at the church that we did the weekly meetings at. It was a Saturday. It was the Ratama boat races.
Ooh.
They would or the gutter races. So they would get 2 gutters, like, tape them off and fill them up with water. It would be you, and you have an opponent, and you put your little wooden boat with the little sail, all fancy, you get to decorate and everything. So you'd have to put your hands behind your back, and you have to blow on the sail, and you have to...
Gay.
Yeah. And you have to blow on the sail to win. And, you're racing your opponent, 3, 2, 1, go. So, oh my God. And it's making me feel all flustered. So... I was fighting. I was going against an older guy. He was like maybe in middle school, and I was like maybe like a 2nd or 3rd grader. Jeez. And I'm all I'm blowing on it, and he has older lungs, so he has an advantage on me. So I blow it twice, and then it gets stuck into the gutter. And my dad is videotaping this because my dad thinks I'm going to win for some reason. So my dad's videotaping me, and then. And I'm like trying to blow it out, but you can't touch it. You have to have your fingers. So the guy already wins, and I just go, I don't want to do this anymore. And like I'm all sad. I mean, you just hear my dad, no, bud, no, cut. And then like the tape cuts out, and then it goes to me like winning like a losers race. Like I'm all, I win. Like for the losers of all the other races, they had a little tournament for them.
What a joke.
Yeah. So it's like, and then it's me. Like winning, and I'm all happy. Like after I had a mental breakdown after fucking all embarrassing, a little boat. Like I don't know why that video. Still to this day, that video pops up in my head from time to time. Does random memories ever pop up? And you're like,
yeah.
Oh, like any cringe on it? Like, how did I?
Those memes I was seeing where it's like, I'm trying to go to sleep early, and 3 o'clock brain. Think about this embarrassing moment in 3rd grade for like 2 hours, like, you'll never be able to fix that. Like,
there's so many weird things that like you just experienced growing up.
And so it's funny you say about driving around your old house, because one of my old houses that I lived here, just on Sunday actually, I went to go eat at Bucaneros on Marbach. There's a new one. It's like a seafood Mexican place.
El Bucanero or whatever?
Yeah. And
place is gross, by the way, but whatever.
I knew you would hate it. I mean, because it's delicious.
We went there. We went there for Leslie's grandma's birthday, and the food was disgusting. But continue.
Oh, it's so good.
I didn't like it.
What did you get?
I got some seafood thing. It had a mix of different things.
Do you like fish?
No, I'm not a big seafood guy. Yeah.
So okay, case in point. Of course, I would not take you to that place. Like if we were to go.
Wait, quick side note. Fuck everybody who's getting my picky eating habits off of the show. Because my coworkers are all like, oh, David, have you tried? Wait, never mind, you're picky. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? You don't know what I've tried.
You are picky, though. And they're probably right, aren't they?
Yeah, so it's this. And I'm like,
so they're right.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
What do you fuck them? Fuck you. They're right.
Well, still, fuck you for calling me out at work, you assholes.
Good for y'all. You fucking know it. You know it. Yeah, no,
Continue.
Immediately saying I knew you wouldn't like. I didn't even think you would actually even set foot in that place because
unfortunately
it's all seafood. It's delicious. It's so good. If you like Mexican seafood, it's great. Obviously,
fucking paintings on the wall,
and you know it's good because David doesn't like it.
Shut the fuck up.
If he liked it, it would be bad. It would probably be all like chicken fingers and shit and ketchup.
Man, I don't even like chicken fingers. So.
Oh, okay. meat, just beef, just ground beef, and not you don't even like potatoes.
I like potatoes.
Only in a certain way, though, right? Not mashed potatoes.
I like mashed potatoes.
You just started getting into mashed potatoes.
Like about a year ago, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm starting, and baked potatoes now I'm starting to like too.
Oh, okay. Well, mashed potatoes is like a staple for babies, so I don't see how.
Fuck you.
Anyway. So we went there and we had a great lunch, and then me and Mrs. Teach had to do some final stuff, and we both just did not want to do it, so we're just really trying to like stay out of the house to like procrastinate. We're both like, what else can we do, right? And we wanted paletas, and I could, on the south side, they just have the cart. You can't really find them. Like, they just have to be in the right place at the right time. And I'm like, I don't really know where to go, but there's this one, like, a fruit cup stand that has, like, a bunch of different shitty Mexican food stuff it's Calabria and, like, Liz Harrison.
Okay.
Which is I lived there for a time for elementary school, middle school, and high school, actually. All in different times, though. We owned the house, and we would rent it out when we would move. But, so it's fun. So, anyway, so we go there, and I go up Calabria, and so it's funny because, like you say, so I went to Knowlton Elementary for a time, and so it's my elementary school and middle school on the same road, and to get to that old house. And we got our food, or, like, our ice cream at the time. We got our ice cream. And I was like, we're right here, like a block away. I just want to go see my old house. So we drive up. I think it's Cliff Briar is what it's called. Yeah, Cliff Briar, I think. And so when I pass Knowlton, I'm always like, I remember man, elementary walking to school and like trying to walk fast to get home because I wanted to watch like Thundercats and like Sailor Moon because it was on Toonami like from like 2:30 to 3 or something, or 3:30, right? And if I was late talking and shit, or if I went to the ice cream truck and waited too long, I would miss it,
Right.
So I would like, no, I can't get an ice cream. I want to.
Sorry guys, I have stuff to go to do.
Right. But then I passed middle school, and that's like a totally different vibe, though. And that, like, I hated. I was only there for 7th grade when I moved back, and like that's such an awkward time. And I was like a big fat kid, and like I had like no friends. So like that experience was like horrible. So when I passed that one, that stuff starts flooding in where I'm like. But then when I get to my house, I usually think of TAV. I was there for senior year for TAV. And that was because I like half hated it, half loved it because I was in band. So like I loved band and like my band family, but then like I hated class because like everyone else did like they were like like in band I was cool, but like in the whole school like no one knew me, so like I felt like an outcast. And so yeah, I know what you mean when like I still do that to this day, like just because it's there, So.
Right. The old house, like I said, I've drove by it a couple times now with doing Lyft because that area over there, because it's off of Calabria. I lived in the neighborhood called Creekside. It's on Calabria and Westover Hills, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
But I don't want to say Westover Hills exactly. I just know it's in that area.
Yeah, I know that area.
Yeah, so it's a neighborhood called Creekside.
The Shell is right on that corner, right? There's a Shell
by the Alliance Dental Center.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. So if you go down that way, like past
Westover
the dental.
Hills.
Yeah. So then the neighborhood to Creekside is right there.
Yeah.
So cool. That's cool. You know exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So either way, yeah. So like here's the Shell, like right here at the corner at the light, like Calabria and whatever. So you could go this way and Creekside's right here, or you could go this way and Creekside's right here.
Yeah, it's a block.
Yeah. So that's cool. You know exactly what I'm thinking of. So. So I drove by it, and the old house that we lived at Bronson Creek. That's the name of the street. And the neighborhood's gone really downhill, really downhill. And it's crazy to think because I didn't go on a date, but I met one of my old friends from elementary school. Someone that I didn't even talk to in elementary school. This girl named Lauren Bernal. I just remember her, like, I remember she went to Raba. And, like, we followed each other on Instagram, and we went to go see that movie called Deliver Us from Evil when it first came out. It wasn't a date because I bought my own ticket, I bought my own snacks, she bought her own stuff. We didn't get dinner afterwards. I didn't kiss her, hold hands, nothing. We literally she messaged me, hey, you're David Clare? I'm like, hey, yeah, you're Lauren Bernal? And it was like, hey, let's hang out. Let's go see a movie. Okay. Saw a movie, dropped her off at her house, but she lived in that neighborhood. She still lived in Creekside. And
well, I was just saying how much you have because I'm out, but
and I was like, yeah, I'm almost done. saw the movie, dropped her off, and like, when I dropped her off, I was like, oh, I haven't been in this neighborhood in years. And like just everything flooded back. So but that neighborhood's just so ghetto now. Like all the houses are run down.
Yeah.
Like everything just looks so bad. And then like the house that we lived in, whoever's living in there now, like the house just looks awful. The next door neighbor house looks awful. The Abinsays, I know, still fucking live there. Like the guy that kind of my dad wanted to compete with to be in the Boy Scouts, I know they're still there because it's the only neighborhood it's the only house in the whole street, the whole cul-de-sac that has nice modern cars, and they're big Jacksonville Jaguar fans because they're from Florida. Well, they're from Hawaii, but I know they lived in Florida a lot. All their license plate fucking covered things have the Jacksonville Jaguar, so I'm like, yeah, the Abensays still fucking live there. And it's the nicest, well-kept house on the whole fucking cul-de-sac.
They're old money.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm just like, man, so it's just crazy to think, and, man, I don't know.
I enjoy it, though. The aspect, I guess I've kind of moved. I was at the point where I used to, like, covet the old, like, wanting to, like, man, I would just love to relive that. Like, you know, with everything I know now, it would have been such an easier transition. But at this point, I'm like, I just like the even like when I'm saying like driving through Knowlton, it's like those are nice thoughts, you know, nice memories. Driving past Zachary, I'm like, those are not nice thoughts. But at the same time, I'm like, that was a lot of struggle I went through, and I've really through those, I've kind of worked with that a lot. Like my personality comes straight from those times that were really awkward and like really kind of abrasive, you know, with that. I'm kind of like the way I am because of those memories I've held. So like I don't really think about going back so much. It's kind of like that's interesting to how it used to be, and like it's not that way anymore, you know. Even with high school too, it was like, God, I hated high school.
Yeah.
And I was the type when I graduated, I was like, I will never fucking miss high school. But now I'm like, fucking miss high school. That was fun time.
High school is still kind of like fuck high school. Like, because I mean, my parents live literally right behind Stevens High School. Like, and that's where my sister goes now. And it's a crazy thing. My sister's going to graduate from high school next year. She just got her first job. She's going to be working at Casablanca, the new movie theater out there.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm just like, God damn! Like my sister's getting old.
I was the youngest in my family, but my little cousin, but she's kind of a shithead. But Mrs. Teach's little brothers, who I knew they were even younger, you know, he's a junior now. He'll be a senior next year, and he's looking for a job, and he has a car and he drives, and I'm like, oh my God! I remember he was like this little kid singing. I don't know, some fucking song that was horrible.
For Gangnam Style. Like,
I was even older when I met him, but Living on a Prayer. That's what he was singing. Again, he was like this little kid just singing it, just all off tune. But now he's all, and he had like that, you know, like a little boy's voice, and then now he's all, in Korean it's Nuna. You call a boy calls a sister Nuna. So he used to be like, Nuna, like, you know, whatever, and now he's all, Nuna, hi Nuna, good to see you. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, they're all old now,
right.
Like big and tall and shit.
It's like, it's crazy because my sister has a boyfriend. She just got her job. She's already talking about, she goes, well, I'm going to work all summer and I'm going to do the driving course on my own. I won't pay for it because I want to drive already. Nice. And this and that. And I'm just like, man, I was just having that conversation about the driving school today with her. And she was asking me about it. And I'm like, fuck, I could barely remember driving school and this is that. I'm like,
Texas, what is how does that work here in Texas? I got my license in South Dakota, and then it was an easy transition to just get it here when I was 17.
So if I still remember correctly, you can get your driver's license at 16. But you can get your permit at 15.
Right.
So, but I know for me, I didn't even start driving school until I was 18 because I was doing theater.
Most people do it.
And no, actually, I was very
Everyone
late.
I know has done that.
Everybody,
Mrs. Teach did that too.
I was like late. I got made fun of for not having my driver's license. So, because I didn't get mine until close to graduation.
My sister did that too.
And it's like, well, good for y'all.
No.
I'm saying, I got mocked.
They did it all what you did. That's why I always thought. I'm like, it seems like it's really hard to get your license here in Texas at a young age.
Not even, man. Like, when sophomore year, when everybody started turning, like, 16 and everything, everybody was doing, I have driver's ed after school. I got this.
You have to do driver's ed, though.
Yeah, you do driver's ed. You take a test in order to get your permit. Then you get your permit, and then you have to do, like, training hours with your parents and everything. Your parents log it into some
After
website.
driving school, though.
After driving school, and then that's
That's mandatory.
Yeah, the whole process takes about like a month and a half.
So, but it costs a lot, right? That's why. No, okay.
No,
I don't know. What I understood was that I don't even know. I think Miss H had to do driving school too. It just took her forever. I don't know. When I did it, I was 15, and I got my permit at 15. At 14, I was 14 because you can drive at 14.
Yeah.
I got my permit at 14. I held it for 6 months. I had to take a written test, pass it, and then I had to hold it. I'm sorry. I had to take a written test, got my permit. Held it for 6 months, took a test, got my license. And I think I was like the end of 14, beginning of 15, right? I didn't pay anything. I think it was like $20 to take the test. The written
I
test.
think the only thing my parents paid for was just a driver's school.
But I hear and I don't know, but it seems like if you're at 18, you can do that here at 18.
18,
but
you
if
can
you
take
wanted-
some like test out course where you just like do some online studying where you don't have to do driver's ed, you don't have to do all this other stuff. You just take some tests and pass, and then boom, you can go get your license.
But I've heard it sounds like everyone here at 16 has to take like if you want to do it at 16, you have to take driver's ed, which is costly. Like you can't just get a permit at 15.
No, you
free.
have to because you have to take a written test in order to be eligible to go get your permit.
Yeah,
because you take the written test,
but it's free.
then you
Or
go
$20 or so.
for the test. It's
Yeah.
included in the cost for the driver's ed.
You have to take driver's ed though.
Yeah, if you're 15, yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much it costs because there was a driving school that was right in front of Stevens High School, and like they do like all these freaking discounts and everything. It's called Rhodes Driving School, and my parents signed me and my brother both up at the same time, but my brother was 16 when he started doing it. My parents just made me wait for some reason.
Yeah.
So it was just like, well, that's stupid. And I was like,
were you the oldest?
yeah, I'm the oldest.
Probably why.
It was like, they were like, oh, well, it's because you were UIL. I was like, yeah, I was in UIL theater my sophomore year, but now it's my fucking senior year, and I'm still not even driving. It was like, I just felt stupid, and I was, oh, you don't have a license yet? Oh, ha, ha. And I couldn't do off-campus lunch and all this bullshit, so I was like, oh, yo, we're going to go to McDonald's. You have to eat the school food. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, man, fuck you guys. I hope you die in a car accident on the way to McDonald's.
Was it open lunch for y'all?
What do you mean?
For your high school? Like everyone could go off lunch if you could?
No, it
For
was only
seniors.
for juniors and seniors.
Yeah, that was ours too. But I would just go anyways.
Nah, I was a good kid. I didn't skip. No, I didn't go off campus for lunch. I would skip my classes. I just didn't go off
Right.
campus. I would give money to my friends who could go off
Pick
campus
up
and be
lunch.
like, hey, could you give me McDonald's and just bring it back? And here's $4. Give me whatever $4 gets me.
In South Dakota, it was a small school, but it was open lunch for anyone, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
And also too, because it was tough. Because if they had the vice principal or like the assistant principals or whatever, like they would have them at like checkout points where show your badge.
As
See a
if,
sticker.
and there were so many. They try to do that in TAP too, but
And like you couldn't walk off campus, but because there was this big old ditch like in front of Stevens, people would fucking run. I'm legally off school grounds. You can't get me. But the stupid NISD police would pull up. Get
it
back to
was
school.
so easy to get away with that shit.
I didn't do a lot of stuff like on the school grounds. I did a lot of shit inside of school that I'm like, man.
I skipped a lot. Yeah.
I skipped a lot.
Yeah.
Oh man, but not enough to where I had to go to attendance recovery. That was the cool thing. I was able to manage my shit.
Attendance recovery. Every year I went to attendance recovery.
I was like, I did just enough skipping to where I didn't have to go, but at the same time, I would have to do like stupid makeup assignments to be like, oh, well, here you go. In order to get credit, you have to do this. I'm like, all right, whatever.
I always had to do that shit.
Man, boo.
All right, well.
It's like we're at, well, depending on how much I edit, because fucking name drops and everything, but no, I'm just kidding.
I know.
But right now, as of we're speaking, looking at the phone, it's an hour, 52 minutes, and 45 seconds. So, this was a great episode. We were scared that we didn't have enough content to cover, but this
I was really deflated going into this too. I just didn't. I was almost gonna call and cancel just 'cause I was like, I don't want to talk. I don't feel like talking too much, but I was like, once I start, it'll be fine.
I think you talked more than me on this episode, to be honest.
I always talk more than you. I talk way too fucking much. Like,
no, well, I mean, that's
I
the whole
always
point.
hear the episode, I'm like, fuck, shut up. Like,
that's how I feel sometimes listening to me. I'm like, damn, let Teach talk. Like, shit. Like,
okay, so we're both thinking that.
Yeah,
Good.
but I think it's even. Let us know who talks more, and based on your guys' feed. You guys listen to the show more than we honestly listen to it. We listen to it the once and then we're done.
I do listen to it though.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, these past few episodes, I've just put them up and that's it. Like,
oh, really?
Well, because I listen to it so much when I'm editing and everything, so I'm just like...
No, you've heard it.
Fuck, I know what we're talking about. Like, but at the same time, I forget what we talk about. Like, so today, Eric, he came up to me, one of our viewers, he was like, have you used a bidet yet? And I was like, excuse me? I was kind of thinking like, how dare you ask me this question? And then it clicked like... Oh yeah, we did talk about bidets. I was like,
I even forgot that the last episode hasn't been put up because the last one, it feels like we've been so consecutive with it. Like, the last one I heard, I was like, oh, that was the last one we did. Like, I didn't realize there's one in between that.
Yeah, so 21 hasn't, at the time of us recording, 21 hasn't been posted or even edited yet because the headphones that I use, I only have one pair of headphones, like a plug into the computer. I brought my headphones to work because I thought I had to listen to my calls for quality, but I ended up not having to listen to them. But then the headphones have just been stuck at work, so I finally brought them back home today. But then I got home late because I had to do something after work, and then I was just like, fuck, then we ate dinner, then I came over here. So it was like, so you guys are going to get a double dosage of episodes, 21, 22, back to back. You guys will get, so but yeah, by the time this is posted, that's why I'm like, man, talking about this kind of stuff, because it's like I put the original film date in the description, so it's like, oh, well, they talked about it on this date, so this XYZ hasn't happened yet.
As if anyone really pays attention.
Exactly. So it's like, you guys listen to it, you guys eat it up, keep supporting the show, keep shouting us out, please shout us out. We're starting to become a funny meme page. I like that. We keep sharing memes, which is pretty cool.
I tell you, anytime I see a meme that's funny, but I just don't want to post it on my feed, I just post it on our
So anything that's like mild to like anything that's like calm to mild memes is the Teach. Anything that's offensive is me.
Yeah,
like,
that shit one was like, oh, damn.
The which one? The shit?
Oh,
where he's taking a dump and he's like, damn it!
And I was so hungover that day when it came out and I was like, what is, and I was like, oh, fuck, god damn it, David, this is fucking nasty. Like, it's not even, to me, it's not funny, but
I love that shit.
I'm sure I bet you a lot of our viewers can find it funny.
Oh my god, because I remember seeing that video a long time ago and I was like, this is the funniest
I'm more
thing
for
ever.
Clever. I like if there's a nuance and cleverness to it, I like it. Maybe.
Yeah, so clever, Teach, weird and offensive, David. So like the picture I just shared of Thanos putting on the Infinity Gauntlet, with O.J. Simpson putting on the Infinity Gauntlet.
Though. Yeah.
That one is fucking. I was like, this is gold. I have to post it now.
I think I saw that too, and I almost posted it because I know it now. Even though but I haven't seen the movie, so I just feel like I shouldn't because I'm like, well, I haven't seen the movie, so like I don't get that pass yet. So I'm glad you did because
it was great.
It's funny. That's clever.
So Infinity Wars is a fantastic movie. Go see it, please. If you have not, I'm gonna start spoiling it for everybody. So
he already spoiled it for me last week. So.
Boo! I gave you like a microscopic.
You gave the point of it.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. Trust me, I did not. If you've seen the movie, what I told you is like minuscule.
But that's the whole point of who, this and that.
Nope.
That's not the biggest part of the movie?
No. Like I'm being dead serious. What I did is like, yeah, that's true, but it's like, who cares about that? There's other things that happen in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how crazy this movie is.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna watch it. That comes on Redbox probably. So.
But on that note, thank you guys for listening yet again to our nonsensical talks. As always, am David Clare,
and this is the Teach.
No, don't do it. No. No, I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin. No. I'm a virgin.